So we made it to the last game.
Mm-hmm.
One game I predicted, but the other game I didn't. But let's go right into the Chiefs and the Bengals. I didn't have them winning at all.
Yeah, I did not think there was any way that the Bengals could go to what I still call Arrowhead. I guess that's still their name, Arrowhead, and win that game. I was so happy. We wanted them to win.
We did.
Yes, but we didn't think that they could win, and they did.
And I must say, if they had a chance to win, it was a perfect storm because it unfolded the way they needed it. And ultimately, Mahomes made a mistake.
Yep.
And that's how they got. You can't expect a person to be perfect every Sunday, but that is heavy on his shoulders, and he made a mistake. The Bengals just surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. For a team that finished in last place last year and was the only team in their division that didn't go to the playoff, for them to do a whole 180, and you have to legitimately give them a chance to beat the Rams, even though I don't think they can. I have to give them a chance because they did something that I didn't expect them to do. They got past two teams that I didn't expect them to get past.
Yeah, so every week when we say, I don't think they can beat them, that's what they do. They beat them. And It was so funny. I missed most of the game because I have church and we have church in the evenings. And so when we got out, it was in the fourth quarter. It was tied at 21. I'm like, I got to get home. But we had to stop and get dinner because it was late. And I said, well, let's just pick up some dinner. So the place where I go in to pick up dinner, they have all the TV screens and everybody was in there hollering and screaming. And everybody was rooting for Cincinnati. Everybody. It was like we were in Ohio. So I think most people are happy.
Yes, I'm my homeboy is winning me over, but it's nice to see two different teams vying for the championship. And this is kind of funny, but let's go here. So technically, the Rams have never won a Super Bowl because St. Louis. You don't believe? I don't agree with this either. But remember, they won with St. Louis. They didn't win with LA. So you got two teams in the Super Bowl now that have never won. So
yeah, I guess because the LA Rams have not.
Exactly. So we missed that because I did some research and somebody said it was 5, and I was like, no, it's 4. But if you technically, the Rams have never won. The LA Rams. I think they did all they can do. Mahomes just made a mistake and the Bengals stepped up. On Burrow, it seemed unshakable to me. This dude's stats was on point. I think he's going to have to put up a little bit more. I don't think 21 points going to win the game for them. I don't think 24. I think he's going to have to put up about 30. 30, 35. If he don't put up that much, I don't think, I'm going to give them a slim chance, but I'm going to pick the other team, which we need to talk about that game too. So the 49ers and the Rams, the divisional rivals.
That's like the Redskins and the Cowboys playing to see who go to the Super Bowl. That would have been too much. I said to somebody, I don't know how these fans can take watching these games. I was nervous for them. And these are not our team. So, girl, I forgot.
It was nice to see Odell finally make it. The game was the way it ended. We chose the Rams to win. But I must say, every time I see these two go up against each other, I get a little sad. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. Because every time I see Kyle and Sean go up against each other, I get a little sad because what could have been. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. But the game was interesting down to the wire. I feel sad for Debo. Debo looked like he was just grief-stricken.
He was weeping. I feel so bad. I mean, somebody's got to lose. We know that. But when people take it so hard, you feel so bad for them. And I liked how Odell went right over and was just like.
Because Odell been there. He never been this far. He know what it feels like to lose in a playoff game. So now that all that's been out and all that's been said, Brady, who you picking?
Once again, I don't want the Rams to win, but I think they're going to. I'm rooting and cheering for the Bengals all the way, but I don't know if they have enough. And I think the Rams are going to win.
Yeah, I think Sean gonna finally take them to it. But let's go back. So when Vaughn came, I was like, because they already got the number 1 defensive player. Most analysts picked him as the number 1. Then Vaughn came, my fave. Then they got Odell. I was like, wait a minute. Now cut, okay, it's just, then they lost like 2 games. I was like, okay, they stopped this team for nothing.
Yeah.
Was I wrong? This playoffs was one of the best we've had in a long time, all the games. That first week, some of them games were, you know, a little old, like when the Patriots got blown out and stuff. But when that week, man,
that divisional round
Chiefs game, that can be the standard teaching tool. They were 2 young powerhouses. Is what the future of football is going to look like, you know, stuff like that. So out of all the games this playoff, I must pick the Bills and the Chiefs as my game of the year.
Game of the a whole lot more than that, yeah. That whole divisional round was excellent. Every game went down to a kick or that last second something. Every game, I've never seen that.
So it was exciting. So hopefully this is trending up because Josh and my homeboy, they're relatively young, Stafford. Now I'm a little nervous for Jimmy, Galapagopoulos.
Wait,
I'm not sure if he's gonna have a future in San Francisco next year.
Oh yeah, he's already like being shopped around or whatever. And of course, there was a rumor that he was coming here to Washington or that they were interested in him. And
why?
Like, that would be so typical Washington.
That's true, but he ain't the answer.
And then
I'm just in fear of Jimmy. I think Tannehill may have, you know, an issue, and Jimmy. Of course, Ben has retired, so there's opportunity there. So when we were talking last week about Aaron Rodgers going to further round as for a football player, these are all playoff teams that's going to need quarterbacks.
The quarterback.
So one of those teams, hopefully. But yeah, I'm a real scared for Galapagopoulos. I feel like he just a little bit more, you know, because I've never thought of Stafford as a even mediocre quarterback. But hey, how about that trade? When we all thought they were crazy for trading Goff to, man, Stafford, the happiest, luckiest quarterback on earth.
And that just shows you it wasn't him. I thought it was just he wasn't that good. It wasn't him. It's the Lions. They just need more. Yeah.
He went from almost winless to Super Bowl bam in one season.
Yep.
Come on now. I'm still not convinced of Sabrina, but I guess, hey.
It's just our old mindset of he ain't that good. We got to get over it.
Exactly.
So last show, we talked about the fact that they need to change these NFL overtime rules. We all believe that the Bills and Josh Allen should have had a chance to touch that ball against the Chiefs last game, but that's gone now. So Gwen and I were talking, and Gwen said, Sabrina, what would you set the overtime rules to be? Gwen, what would you, so you start. What would you, if you had a chance, what would the overtime rules be?
7 minutes.
Okay.
An extra 7 minutes.
All right.
So you play that 7 minutes, and if whoever got to leave by then, they done. And then if that don't work, then it's another. Playoffs, they keep playing, right? Regular season, then you have a tie. I would just give it half of a quarter.
Okay, and I was going to say, and what happens in the playoffs then?
Well, the playoffs, they keep playing till somebody wins. You remember that?
You would have double overtime, triple overtime.
Correct.
Okay, I like the each team gets a chance to possess the ball, and then after that, it's what it is. But I don't like the coin toss. That feels real archaic and old to me. I think they should do something else to decide who gets the ball first, but I don't know what.
But to say when ain't no other way, you got to fit.
Maybe, okay, I got it. Maybe each team's kicker got a kick from like the 30.
When you're doing too much,
listen. If one of them make it from the 30, then the other one got to do it from the 30. Then the next one got to do it from the 40.
Sabrina, you going into 40 minutes after the man.
Trying to figure out something to get rid of that coin. I don't like that coin toss.
I know, but that's, to me, that's the best way.
Yeah.
Just get it over with. Got caught. And then you know what, Sabrina? If it's 7 minutes, it really don't matter who goes first. Because it lets the whole team use the 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it does matter because momentum. Suppose if the first team score, now you're back against the wall. It matters.
I guess. Yeah, but they gotta fix that. That's
And what's so funny is Mahomes was on the winning side the first time against the Bills, but then he no, that's true, but no, he did get the ball first.
They did.
That championship game. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then he didn't. So it went to the Bengals and they kicked the field goal.
That's So this next topic, we all have been hearing about it all week long on whenever it broke, that Tom Brady is retiring. It is not official yet. I haven't heard anything from him or his people. Maybe it is official, but I haven't heard it from him, so it ain't official. You think he's retiring?
No. Next year.
We talked about this too before. But so you say he's gonna play another year.
It only makes sense to let him play one more year and go out at 45, you know. And I know Giselle probably want him home, but let the man play one more year. And now that they leaked the story, I definitely wouldn't do it now.
a lot of people were saying I would just play again just because.
Exactly. And then go out, you know. Yeah. So the other two was Ben Roethlisberger from the Steelers. Mm-hmm. That was a year overdue. And I was surprised that Sean is sitting it down.
And you know what's
Sean Payton, the New Orleans Saints coach, is retiring.
Yes. And what's funny about that is he seemed excited. Like, you know how some people give the little speech like, I'm retiring, and they seem like they're about in tears because they're not ready. Mm-mm. He seemed like he was ready, like, this is the second phase of my life. And like, he seemed like he was anticipating what comes next. So everybody's at a different place with that kind of thing. Some people go kicking and screaming, but he seemed like he was ready.
But he gonna need another 10 years to rebuild to get it back to Drew Brees status. And I just think he like, I'm done. He a cancer survivor. He like, I'm done. You know, I did, this is all I'm giving it. So I'm good. Even though I always rag on Ben, he's the Super Bowl champion. Definitely all these people we mentioned are going to be first ballot inductees into the Hall of Fame.
Or at least when they're going.
Yeah, they definitely going. Ben going to be first. Tom is a given.
Oh, Tom,
he might as well get his suit and jacket fitted right now.
Right.
That's a given. And Ben is definitely going. Because
Ben is going, but I don't know about no first.
I think Ben will be first. Depending on, it's going to have to be some strong people in his class, Sabrina. It's going to have to be, so whoever retired 5 years now, I don't know. Ben, look, I didn't think Calvin Megatron was going to be first, but he was.
Yeah.
So I think Ben would be first. Okay, 2 or 1. So Tomlin won twice and lost one. So Ben is 1-1. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So
anyway, they're gonna go to the Hall of Fame.
They all going. Brady can almost get fitted for his jacket now. And Sean would definitely be sometime in the near future, because for the most part it's not. We all know that Tomlin is the most successful coach in the history of the NFL, but Sean was very successful as well. He had some off seasons, but they were consistent. The Saints were always formidable opponents to play. Mm-hmm. So you know, best of luck to all of them in retirement. But yeah, all 3 of them are gonna have that gold jacket.
Yeah, they will.
And let's continue with this story about the vacancies. So remember, we spoke about Brian Flores. He was fired as the Miami Dolphins head coach this year, even though he had. Is 8-8 a winning season, Sabrina?
As long as you're not
under. As long as you're not in the mess. So he had a winning season. Brian has never played NFL football, which I started to really started to like him, because I was like, how did he do? Because most NFL coaches are former players. Mm-hmm. You know, usually they're former players. Brian filed a lawsuit against the Giants, the Broncos, and the Miami Dolphins.
As well as the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah.
For discrimination, I guess.
Yeah, for discrimination. And he went into a lot of detail about things that occurred with different teams and stuff, just the mess he's had to go through. You know, people interviewing him, of course, just to say, okay, we interviewed a Black candidate, and then promising him jobs and he didn't get them, putting him in compromising positions. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like he said that the Dolphins owner basically told him tank so we can get the draft pick. And he's like, I can't do that. I don't know how to tank. I just want to win. And he's like, no, tank. And he didn't do it. And that's when he got fired.
What?
Mm-hmm. That's what I read earlier. He told him to tank. He said, no, it was tension, fired.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And what surprised me, Sabrina, I got to put my readers on because they about to get it. You know, when you get this look.
Okay.
What surprised me, and I found out something very interesting today. Mm-hmm. When we talk about the owners, we didn't talk about the gender. We just talked about they're mostly Caucasian. But I've learned today it's 4 female owners. 3 of them are the principal owners, which means they have more than 10% vested or more vested in the team. And 1 is splitting with her husband. So we have Miss McCasey for the Bears.
Okay.
We have Miss 504. Guess what?
Yes.
Who she owns?
Gotta be Lions.
Yes.
Okay.
And Amy Adams with the Titans.
Wow.
So this is the thing that I found was crazy, because you would think, being minorities themselves in the class, that they will have a little bit of unction to reach out and, you know, grab somebody or make multicultural, or understanding that, hey, you know, I was shocked. I didn't know there were any female owners. I was shocked. And to find out there are 4.
Wow. And what you just
crazy.
said, and what you said, why didn't they pull up people, you know, to make more diversity? I think once you get to a certain class of life, I don't think they care about that, male or female. It's just, if you ain't at that level, you ain't.
Got it. So I wish Brian all this luck in doing it. The NFL have their own system and their own everything. So I wish him all the best. They may give him something just to make him go away.
And that's
we're still not gonna do what you want us to do. We're gonna just throw you a bone so you can just go away.
And that's my concern. I'm proud of him for standing up for his principles, but I think in the end, he's just basically putting himself on a list. And is anybody gonna hire him now?
No.
I'm concerned. Like,
they're not gonna break ranks.
Yeah, he's long-term shooting himself in the foot. So this is good for the how they say, you win the battle, but you lose the war.
Lose the war.
And then he said, and what I learned is he played 10 years under Bill Belichick. So
as an assistant coach.
Right. And so Bill Belichick texts Brian Flores, is like, hey, I heard you're gonna get the job in New York, and just congratulations in advance. And he was like, oh man, you know. So then it comes out, oh, he texted the wrong Brian. It was Brian, whoever the man's name is.
Oh my God.
He said, I'm so sorry, I blanked this up. I texted the wrong Brian. It was not you, it's the other dude. And they announced that the other Brian got it. So it's just, ugh.
And let's keep it real. The coordinator of the Chiefs, he is qualified. Andy Reid had to get on the mic and say, this dude called all our plays. All this offensive success is with EB, and then they still wouldn't hire that man. Why does Andy Reid have to vouch for him? Have you ever heard of such a thing?
And do you think too that sometimes these coaches might be afraid to take the job because they know they're going to be highly and heavily scrutinized? Do you think?
I think they want an opportunity because they're going to be successful, Sabrina. I don't think they don't take the job. I think they don't get offered the job.
So and which is what you mentioned, like a lot of the times they get these opportunities and the teams are at the bottom of the barrel. And it's like, well, what do you want me to do with this? What do you think my chances are of succeeding, you know?
And then I have to be honest, Sabrina, I could think of a few African-American coaches that I was like, he just need to stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they gave him a chance, and I think they gave him a chance and gave that person too much of a chance. Now they hesitant to give the right one a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I wish them all the luck in all their endeavors, but they really need to do something about that. It's not right. But I'm glad. I'm gonna be honest. You hit the nail dead on the head. He gonna win this battle, but he's blackballed. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody taking a chance with him after this point.
I mean, hopefully we wrong, but I agree with you.
I doubt it. Yeah. Have a great week. Enjoy your week off of football. I'm Gwen.
I'm Sabrina.
Stay blessed, stay safe, subscribe. Bye.
Love someone.
Oh, get him, Beanie.
Bye.
Bye.